of the automotive air compressor system, the automotive or the DIY project that I did. Basically what I've got is a old fire extinguisher tank here with a series of adapters to get it down to a flex line, and then this is just acting as a size adapter. It's actually a second check valve, but it's damaged. The input doesn't work quite right. So anyways, it's just because I didn't have the right coupler. But the check valve, the real check valve, is right here. So this check valve goes into a couple of size adapters, because unfortunately getting a 3/4 inch NPT adapter to go down to a 1/4 inch flex line was kind of difficult to track down here. So anyways, it goes over to my 12 volt compressor. I believe this is a ViAir. Yeah, a little ViAir 12 volt compressor. Nothing too complicated about this, just quick release valve. Gets quite warm whenever it's compressing. I don't think I'm too worried about this melting, but it's we'll see. I've just run it and it's actually still quite warm. But the second line here, like I said, this is just line out. Line out comes into the manifold, goes into the manifold here. This guy goes to what will be the rear of the truck. This one goes up to the remote gauge, which will sit on my dash or inside the console or something like that. I found that this isn't entirely accurate. I think it has to do with the volume of the flex line, but I'll see. I'm going to do some experimentation. This then goes into a mechanical shutoff. I had thought that these were rated to 110 volts for some reason. After I popped open the cover, I realized that it's actually a mechanical disconnect. So at the right pressure, it just opens the switch, closes the switch, and there's two connections. So positive and negative can both be switched. I don't know if that's important, but I'm going to do it. And then I've got a line coming into this regulator. Again, it's a little large for the regulator I need, but it'll work. This will be the side that sits underneath the hood. This is my regulated out pressure. This gauge seems to be more accurate than the remote one, but again, I think it's because the air volume. And then, of course, this will be my quick connect underneath the hood. So I'm just going to fire it up here and show that it works. There's quite a bit of rattle that's produced by this check valve when it's low pressure. Start to climb there, but I haven't put any tape on it, so I suspect like when I run this compressor for probably 20 minutes, it gets up to 80 pounds. But when I shut the compressor off, the whirlwind of sound that's coming out of every one of these valves is because they're tightened, but there's no Teflon tape on anything. So I suspect until I tape things up properly, I'm only ever going to get to 80 pounds, and this shutoff works to 130. Electrically, it's disconnected right at the moment. It's just connected up to my big power connector. My big power connector that I have running to the back and front of my truck for my roadside rescue stuff that I do. But yeah, no, it works pretty good. The only thing I haven't thought into this system here is a water drain. At some point, I'm probably going to have to drill a hole in this canister. I've made several air canisters before. I have a general rule: I won't go above 130 psi. But if I decide to do it, I'll do it on this side. I generally tap a thread into there. You only get 1 or 2 threads. Thread whatever I'm going to put in, and then silver solder it in place, and that seems to be strong enough to hold the pressure. And then I do a hydrostatic test using a grease gun and water, and I usually go 3 times the pressure that I'm going to run the thing at. But I won't bother hydrostatic testing this one, because I know that it was tested to 700 psi by the fire extinguisher company, unless I tap a hole in it. If I tap a hole in it, then I'll redo the hydrostat test. So, but anyways, there you go. That's it. It's completely DIY. These are every single one of these parts are from princesauto. This is one of those crazy made in Canadas. And I'd like to point out I don't have a beer, and I didn't say A once in this video. Well, maybe once. Anyhow, have a good one.